Sure, put it on hold. I did. Okay. Cool. How's it going, everybody? It's your boy, the Yam, Papa Yam, back at it once again. Today we are on the FZ07, as you can see. Nice, red, cute little FZ. If you don't know, I have to shout this out every time. We're giving away this bike. If you're interested, link in the description below. Find out all the details on that. Today, I thought it would be fun if we just took a nice leisurely cruise. And just talk. Let's just hang out for a little bit. That sounds fun. On Instagram, sent out a little story asking what you guys wanted to hear me talk about on a little vlog. I had some time today, so I figured I'd jump on the bike and make a quick little vlog. I'm heading back down south to where I live. Just came back up north from a little ride I did. Took the FZ on my favorite road. Just wanted to see how it feels on there. It's a nice little bike. Great handling street bike. Love it. But, you know, not my bike, so don't want to put too many miles on it. I try to take it out like once a week. But anyways, on Instagram, I asked you guys what you'd like me to talk about, and I got one message that told me to talk about all the bikes that I've owned. So I thought that would be fun. Just chat about all the different motorcycles that I've owned. I wish I could do all the ones that I've ridden, but I honestly don't remember all the bikes that I've ridden, so makes it a little tough. It is a pretty chilly 45 degrees here today in DFW, so it makes my glasses fog up. So if you keep hearing me, you know, opening and closing the visor, that is why. So yeah, let's chat about all the bikes that I've owned, because I've owned quite a few motorcycles at this point. I started off life I started out from the womb. I descended out of my mother's vagina directly onto an R3. No, I'm just kidding. In 2015, I believe in May of 2015, I bought a little red Yamaha R3. Put up some videos of it right now as I chat with you guys. That was a great little bike, man. I went with the R3 because, well, I knew I wanted to start with a smaller displacement. I figured that that'd be a good starting point for me. You know, at the time, back in like 2015, 2014, when I was doing my research, people were still enamored with this new crop of beginner bikes that had just come out. And the R3 it's a really good looking bike. I love the newest iteration of it, but the one that they first debuted with was a great looking little motorcycle, and I just thought, you know, this is a perfect opportunity for me to jump in, get started riding, and get going. So I did a really dumb thing, actually, and I went and bought it brand new, which was really silly. I took a little bit of a bath on it when I sold it. Lost, I think, like $1,300 or whatever when I sold it, which, yeah, stupid in hindsight. Which I wish I just bought like a lightly used Ninja 300 or something, but it was really cool because you know, I started putting up videos of it on this channel, actually, to kind of show my dad at the time that I was wearing all my gear, because he was worried about me riding. I hope you guys can see me on this little one. There we go. And so I just wanted to show him a little bit of what I was doing, how I was riding, and that's why I kind of started putting up videos on there. But unbeknownst to me, you know, a lot of people were kind of just organically kind of looking for Yamaha R3 content, and so I think I didn't even do anything with the channel, and I already had like 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers, which is really cool. Boy, I can't see anything. There's poles in the way. There's poles in the way. I sound so southern sometimes. Nothing good. So, yeah, I just started posting some videos of it on YouTube, and it was like, you know, just started picking up some traction. So I thought that was pretty cool. I had the R3 for like, I want to say about 6 or 7 months before I got my first Daytona 675R. And we'll get into the second Daytona and all that other stuff. You know, it was a really, really big jump from the R3 to the Daytona. It was a bit of a learning curve at first, because the Daytona, if you guys haven't ridden it, it's got like leader bike-esque torque in the low ranges. It's not like a regular 600. So it was very torquey. So it was a really torquey bike, and you know, it had a lot more performance than the R3. So I think about like a month or two in, I was starting to get used to it. I was really enjoying it. Had a blast with that motorcycle, man. I learned so much from the Daytona. It taught me so much about how to ride, because the ergonomics on it are so committed. They're so committed. You end up sitting like super clean down like this. And, you know, as a street bike, it's if you're gonna have one as a daily, that's a committed motorcycle to have. So I had that for, I think, a whole year on that Daytona 675R. Amazing bike, still my favorite bike that I've ever owned, even though the second one was exactly the same. The very first one that I bought, it's still, man, I remember when I first bought that thing, and I took it out on the road. I just could not believe the level of performance that someone had, you know, willingly signed off to me, that someone allowed me to purchase. It was really unbelievable. Yeah, Jesus Christ, that thing was so fast. Yeah, that one I also bought brand new as well. That was a brand new motorcycle that I bought. I don't regret that at all. I think with super sports and leader bikes, unless you're taking it out to the track all the time, I'd recommend buying it new, just because it just makes it easier in case someone had abused it in a past life or something. You never know with sport bikes, man. Someone probably has just beat the crap out of that thing. So, yeah, that was Daytona 1.0. Man, that was a good bike. So then a year later, I had a bit of an incident with it. Unfortunately, I crashed it. I was down in Austin, and I overshot this corner and kind of bended into a boulder, which sucked. I don't remember the crash at all, which is kind of weird. So I don't know exactly what happened. But this dude that was behind me said that I just overshot the corner and slid out with the gravel or whatever. So unfortunately that one was crashed and totaled. So then I went about a month without riding, I think. Yeah, it was about a month until I bought my next bike. My next bike was a Yamaha FZ09. I had ridden a buddy of mine's FZ09 for a little bit, and I thought it was so fun. It was so torquey. It was so streetable. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, dude, this is it. This is my next motorcycle for sure. So one of my buddies was selling his at the time, and I was like, oh, awesome. I'll just pick it up off of you. So I got a pretty good deal on the FZ09 that my buddy was selling. Another friend of mine literally rode it up from Austin all the way to Dallas, which was cool. Nice of him to do that. And yeah, I had a blast with the FZ09, man. It's really funny. This bike included, we'll talk about it in a sec. But every single Yamaha I've ever owned was red, which is kind of funny. Even though the FZ09, towards the end of its life that I had with it, I ended up plasti dipping it black. It looked really sick. I'll throw up a picture of it here really quick. I think I have some vlogs of it too on the channel. So anyways, FZ09 had that. Ended up putting a full Leo Vinci system on it. That bike was rad. I had so much fun with it. I regret selling it like every day. It was such a fun motorcycle. Oh, I had that until like summer of 2017. So I had that maybe for like about 8 months. Because then in February of 2017, I bought Daytona 2.0. Yeah, so I ended up buying my second Daytona because I love that motorcycle, man. No other bike makes me feel the way that bike does. And to this day, no bike has come close to how the Daytona makes me feel, which I'll probably own a third one at some point. So I got the second Daytona, and that one did not last very long, as a lot of people know. I had it for about 2 months until I bended into a Porsche, which sucked. That was not a fun time. I made a very big mistake on that one. Don't do what I did, guys. Don't ride how I did. That was that was not a good. So yeah, that one lasted 2 months until I obliterated it. And then I had the FZ09, but I obviously couldn't ride because of my injuries. So I was out of commission for a grand total of 18 months without riding, which is a very long time. I didn't expect to be out for that long. But a couple things happened that made it a little more complicated with my injuries. Nerve damage is a bitch, guys. It's a real bitch. No one really knew if my wrist was going to come back, because the biggest issue that happened with it was, you know, the nerve connection that makes your wrist actually twist to do this kind of stuff. I didn't have it at all. It was severed at the elbow. It was all constricted, and I couldn't move my elbow. I got real messed up in that accident, guys. you know, today I'm walking and talking, it looks like I'm pretty normal, but I have injuries from it that I'll probably have to live with for the rest of my life. So that's why I think, you know, a lot of people are amazed that I'm back on motorcycles and talking about them again and still doing this, but I honestly feel like I have a platform and a responsibility to tell new riders that there's serious consequences to riding how I did, and I don't recommend anyone do it. And I certainly will not ride that way ever again. It's tough because there's always that little sort of demon in the back of your mind that's like, go, 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 push, 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 but you can't do it, man. And I'm 26 now. I don't know. I feel like I've grown up a lot in the past couple of years. I feel like I don't really have that that immaturity in me as much anymore. And that's something I mentioned in a video that I put out, the first moto vlog with this bike. I was just talking about how, you know, I feel like I've changed a lot. I feel like I've changed a lot in my tone and my demeanor and how I approach this this hobby and this lifestyle. So, anyways, with that being said, I ended up selling the FZ09 in, what was it, July of 2017? Yeah, I sold the FZ09. I'm honestly not even sure why I sold it. I was on so much pain medication. I don't think anyone should have been trusting me to make decisions at the time. Honestly, it's kind of ridiculous that I did that because I didn't need to sell it. I remember at the time I was just so worried about my medical bills and this and that, but I had health insurance, and so I just ended up paying my out-of-pocket maximum. And then I don't know why I thought that I needed to sell the FZ09 to cover stuff. I was like, oh, but what if like they come back for me for more money or whatever? So I ended up selling the FZ09, which sucks. I wish I still had that bike because it was fun. It just needed a new clutch, and it could have just sat in my garage, and I could have turned it on, you know, every other week or so just to kind of keep the fluids running in it, and it would have been fine. But I don't know. I guess I was super dumb. So I sold the FZ09. Sold it to a nice guy in Oklahoma who came down and picked it up. Then, yeah, 18 months went by, pretty much. A year, more than a year, actually, because 2018 came and went. And then in late 2018, so a few months ago, I did this crazy thing with the CB900, the Hentai Hornet build, which is really fun. So I did the Hentai Hornet thing, so I bought the CB900. That's a really fun bike. It's such a piece of shit motorcycle, but I think that's what gives it its charm and its character. I'm super excited to do more stuff with it. I didn't film I've taken it around the block a few times, but I didn't film that because, one, it's not registered or insured yet because it can't pass the inspection, because when I bought it, that's how shitty it was. And so I didn't want to film myself riding a motorcycle that's not insured. If anything were to happen, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to be careful with it. So I literally just took it once around the block just to kind of check on it and make sure that it actually ran. And it does. It's a really fun bike. It's got really a surprising amount of top end on it. It's pretty docile in the low revs. So you take it out and you don't think it's that fast. And it's so big too. It's really heavy. But then you open the throttle and, man, that thing rips. It feels like an old school FZ09. It feels like a last gen FZ09. It's a really fun bike. So yeah, I bought that, and then now I bought this. So I guess this is my 7th or 6th motorcycle that I've bought. And it's interesting because the CB900 and the FZ07, I don't even feel like they're my motorcycles because we're doing them with the giveaway thing. Like, I'm riding this thing, and I don't really feel a sense of like, you know, oh, I own this bike or whatever. Oh, that's cool, dude. Yeah, just come right up on in there. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, dude. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't even feel like these are my bikes. I'm riding this thing around, and I feel really guilty about putting mileage on it, but I do have to run it. Otherwise, you know, what am I trying to say? The fluids will get all ganked up, and you gotta run a motorcycle. You can't just leave it sitting. So I do have to ride it around. Otherwise, it'll, boy, I can't think right now. Otherwise, it won't work well. That's what I'm trying to say. So my goal is to put on less than 50 miles a week on the FZ07, just because I want to make sure that it has a similar mileage as to when I bought it when I give it away. I want to keep it under like 7,800, 8,000 miles on it when I give it away, which is why I'm trying to pick up either a track bike or a personal motorcycle for myself in the next couple of months. I mean, if you guys have any suggestions of what I should get, I'm all ears. I'm honestly leaning towards buying a track bike because I just, you know, I have some sort of sickness inside of me that makes me want to go fast all the time, right? So I think I just need a track bike. So obviously looking at, you know, Daytona 675s. I was actually supposed to look at a GSX-R 750 today that this guy had out in Fort Worth. Pretty done up. I had Olin's front and rear, already pretty much race ready, which I was super stoked on. Definitely wanted to check out that bike, but ended up, you know, a couple of things came up, and can't buy the track bike right now. But I think like March or January. Wow, March or April, excuse me. January's not even next to March. Where's my brain at right now? I think, yeah, January or, no, not January. March or April. There we go. My brain is working now. I think in March or April, you know, might buy a personal bike for myself. I'm also trying, you know, I've started to reach out to a couple folks. I'm building some new relationships with people. And, you know, I might be able to snag a long-term press bike, which might be interesting. I know that KTM is really into this whole, like, YouTube digital marketing type of stuff, and they might, you know, bite at the chance to provide someone like me, maybe like a Duke 790 for a couple months so I can ride around with it and show you guys. Because, you know, it kind of blows my mind. Like, I still feel like this is a rinky-dink channel. I honestly forget sometimes that I have as many subscribers as I do, because it doesn't feel like it. It still feels like such a tight-knit community because there's so many sort of like inside jokes with us. But yeah, this is like a big channel. Like I think, you know, I used to work in marketing and growth marketing, that kind of stuff. A company would be foolish to not take it up on it. So we'll see what happens. That would be really fun. If not, I might just buy myself a personal motorcycle rather than this one that we're giving away. This is such a fun bike to tool around with though, man. It's a really great street bike. Jesus. Yeah, that's the one thing that kind of sucks, man, with my injury. Sometimes I can't rev match the way I used to because I actually can't move my thumb out like I used to. Like, I can't put my thumb out, so it just makes it kind of tough. Sucks ass. It is what it is. At least I'm riding, man. At least I'm back on the saddle. That's the good thing. So anyways, guys, those are all the bikes that I've owned. I think. Yeah, pretty sure. I don't think I've missed any. Yeah, let me know what you think. I don't know. I just wanted to make a vlog. Just wanted to hang out for a little bit. Thought it'd be fun. This is still, it's so weird being back doing these vlogs because I feel like I've lost a lot of like the flow in how I used to do them. I feel like I approach them so differently now just because I'm so used to making content that's scripted rather than just off the cuff. And so I feel like whenever I edit these, I honestly end up being like, why do I sound so silly? Whee! You know, this FZ07, I was chatting with the previous owner because he managed to find me on Instagram and YouTube, which is really cool. It's got this R6 throttle tube, and I think like the stock fuel mapping. I don't know, this thing is twitchy as hell. This throttle kind of sucks. We got to work on it a little bit. We'll figure that out. I remember my FZ09 had a terrible on-off throttle switch for it too. It was not a very responsive bike, but then again, I was so used to the Daytona's throttle that everything else just felt inferior, you know. But anyways, yeah, that's today's vlog. I think that's gonna wrap it up. I don't really have anything else to say, so I will not continue rambling. And I'll catch you guys next time. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I think we're doing some pretty cool stuff around here. I think 2019 is going to be dope. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.